So not too long ago, Risk of Rain 2's Devotion update dropped, and to me, it's interesting to say the least. On one end of the spectrum, this update gives me hope in Gearbox for new content, because the things they did add, like the skin, stage, and artifacts, those were really cool in my opinion. But on the other end of the spectrum, there's a sort of lack of quality control that came with this update. But before I delve into that, let's hear out the positives first. To start off this segment, I would like to very briefly cover my thoughts on Verdant Falls. Here were my first impressions when I saw it for the first time. Oh yeah, it increases oh what the freak, this is new sage. The sage is kind of bright, not gonna lie. It's better than the opposite. What the heck? Gups can spawn here? So I think the stage is pretty neat and looks really cool. Banger track, by the way. I also really love the layout of it. I was a bit skeptical when I first saw the stage in the update trailer, since it looked like there was a lot of verticality. And I mean, we all know how everyone feels about Sundered Grove. But that verticality was actually implemented quite nicely. Say, for example, this abandoned structure is something you can go through and on top of, which connects to the top of this flower, which can also be reached by going up this geyser, cute design by the way, or through the other side entirely. The fact that each segment flows this well into each other is pretty cool to see, and definitely makes up for the verticality of the stage. It's very nice to see that they're keeping stuff like this in mind when designing stages. I also really like how they are utilizing features that are already in the game. Geeps, those are pretty fun for a stage 1 enemy, and I'm surprised nobody has thought of this idea yet. I like it. I'm not really sure if this next part is true, but I heard this scrapper here is guaranteed to spawn up on top over here. If that is true, it's honestly pretty interesting to see them mess with guaranteed interactables. Aside from nude altars, it really leaves me wondering how they're going to work with stuff like this in the future. Now onto the other good stuff from this update. The skin, super cool, pretty high quality. There's not really much to say, but it's a neat feature. I'm glad skins in this game are finally being utilized, and I'm looking forward to more skins being added in the future. For the artifacts, they are really fun, and a great addition to the game. Shipping requests with Artifact of Devotion is hilariously broken, in a good way. I totally get why items like Queen's Gland and Empathy Cores can't be used. That would probably just break the game. But I just can't help but wonder why Void items and Lunar items also can't be used when the shipping request is right there. But it is what it is. And while I'm on the topic of the new artifacts, I think it's time we delve into the new. I'd like to start off this segment with how you find the artifact codes for the new artifacts. What I have an issue with is the fact that Artifact of Devotion, the artifact that this update is named after mind you, does not have its code in the game. This is not a joke, you literally cannot find it in the game as of today. The only way to find this code is through an image on Twitter. Artifact of Delusion is also not found in the game. It's found in this little tidbit in the trailer for the new update, which is pretty cool, but it's also not in the game. So anyone who tries to avoid spoilers on social media is completely screwed. That's cool. But that's not the only missing piece of information in this update. They've actually neglected to add quite a bit of changes in the changelog. Sound effects for Lemurian spawning and the teleporter being complete were changed, which aren't really big changes to be fair, but why leave it out of the changelogs in the first place? Grove Tender apparently spawns on Aphelion Sanctuary now, which is also mentioned nowhere for some reason. Hey, this is me from the future here. So I've actually done some testing on this topic, and I have yet to see Grove Tender in Aphelion Sanctuary. So I asked around in Raiden's Discord if anyone has experienced this, and someone said they were pretty sure they had a Wisp event on Aphelion, even though it's not listed anywhere in the wiki that a Wisp event can even happen there. Another person told me that they had Grove Tender spawn in Abandoned Aqueduct without a Wisp event, so now I'm just even more confused, to be honest. So take what I just said earlier with a grain of salt. Okay, on with the video. But the worst offender of them all, time in the Void Fields is now stopped. And did they remove the stage and a half worth of loot or nerf potentials to combat this? Nope. Can you still leave whenever you want? Yeah, cool. So I guess beating Eclipse 8 now is easier than ever. Awesome. The addition of this update also came with a few bugs. On PC, we now have sound bugs for loader that came from console. Cool, I guess. And on console, Head Stompers also makes you jump 10 light years high now, which, I mean, I guess console players finally have something over PC players now. Like, how does this even happen? Thankfully, none of the bugs are super big, but my god, is that Thunderslam going to be annoying. I really hope they fix that. I honestly like the update overall. It is sort of lackluster, but I do really enjoy the things that were added. It was cool. I just like for there to be better quality control. I really just wish the changelog was actually a changelog and not just a flashy sign that says, "Ooh, look at me, new features, new features." Also, I hope the artifact codes and void fields get adjusted in the near future, and that the bugs get patched out eventually. I was really hoping now that Risk of Rain 2 is being worked on by an entire team from Gearbox that there would be more quality of life fixes and polish, not to mention the many bugs on the console version. 07 to you, my brothers. I do like this update overall, just please fix the stuff that needs fixing. I personally rate this update a 7 out of 10. Gearbox did a great job with the new stuff, but there are quite a few things that need some tweaking. Anyways, that's it. Leave a comment if you agree or disagree, and if you enjoyed, leave a like or sub. We're pretty close to 3,000 subs now, so any help is greatly appreciated. Okay, that's all. See ya.